Hey, this is Crystal, and I would love to speak to you today about royalty and living your life in abundance. I'm going to bring you abundance until you get it. But listen, how do we first get it? We get it from our mindset. We get it on what we process and what we put into our spirits and what we put into our minds. How many of you ever did something or do something all the time and you say, I've been like this all of my life? How many of us have said that and did that? I actually used to do that all the time. Anytime I would do something, I've been like this all my life. But guess what? That's excuses that you make. That's a handicap and a inability that you placed upon your life willingly. Like you threw that on your life saying, I've been like this all of my life. We like to make excuses for the negative part or a stagnant place that we do not want to grow up in. But I want to let you know that there is a royal priesthood attached to your life. There is a mantle, there is a calling, there is royalty attached to your life that you don't have to always say, I've been like this all of my life, because now you have applied a negative to you that you do not want to let go. Because now you have to actually become free from that saying, that being, and those negative habits. When people come to us and try to correct us a little bit, and we be like, well, I've been like this all my life. Why do we do that? We are going to let go of that mindset. We're going to let go of that way of thinking, and we're going to grow, because old ways cannot open new doors. Old ways cannot open up new opportunity. Old ways cannot make room for new ideas and the new you that is coming, your new way of living and your new way of thinking. So we must let go of those old handicaps. And a lot of us like to apply things that's on us now. We like to blame our parents. We would say, I'm this way because my mother was this way. My mother was loud and she cursed and she yelled and she got angry. So this is why I respond the way that I respond. Or we'll say that my father was abusive, or he was an alcoholic, or he was never around. So this is why I'm the way that I am. But we have to disconnect ourselves from negative family history and pull out the royal part of our history and apply it to our lives and live in an abundant being. Because with me, I personally did a little history on where I come from and my bloodline and my lineage. And I realized that I'm from a royal priesthood. And the Bible also speaks about us being from a royal priesthood. But I realized I was from a place of people that were powerful, that was anointed, people that came from a great financial background, people that ministered in the field, and they walked in integrity. They was of a standard. They had wisdom, they had knowledge, they had leadership roles. So guess what I did when I found this information out? I applied it to my life. And after that, I walked like I was royal. So instead of pulling the negative from our history or the negative patterns from our past, we must pull greatness from our history and apply it to our now. We don't want to pull the negative stuff anymore. We don't want to pull the abuse anymore. We don't want to pull all of the bad stuff that happened in our past, in our bloodline. We don't want to pull that. A lot of us like to also make excuses for our sickness and where we are in our health. My entire family was a diabetic, or my whole family had heart conditions, and they had a history of cancer and a history of mental illness. You have the authority and you have the power to change that. You know, how can you change it? By what you process into your body, what you put into your mind. The generational curse, I would say, can stop at you. We like to pull the generational curses, but we don't like to pull the generational blessings with us. We like to give more power to generational curses, and more than we give it to the generational power, the generational anointing. I don't understand why we like to pull the witchcraft and we like to pull the negativity, but we don't want to pull the power of God. that was set upon our shoulders years ago. We got to learn how to be great in this season. We got to learn how to be great. So no more being identified of what your family used to do. Why do we want to attach the negative? My family, my whole family used to fight. So I'm a fighter. No. If my whole family was a fighter, guess what? I'm going to be the peacemaker, and I'm going to walk into a situation with integrity. I actually know a young man from where I'm from. His entire family was known for fighting and shooting. So this young man grew up, and he became a government official. Now he fights for rights of blacks. He fights for the rights of his community. He fights for justice. So he took that way of fighting and being and applied it to a positive way. See, we got to know how to make it work for our good. Take a negative and slide it into the positive somewhere, and allow us to be royal. Integrity, a standard, power. We have to free ourselves from the negativity from our past. You ever had a conversation with somebody and you talk to them and something happened to them when they were about 13 and they're in their 30s? And if you listen to them closely and carefully, they'll start to sound like a child because they have not let go of the past. They aren't healed from their past and healed from things that happened to them in their history. They weren't free from it. So we have to learn how to free ourselves from negative history, negative past, and walk in royalty. Think like royalty. Get yourself around some people that have integrity. They can help you with your mentality and help you with your mindset and help you process things of your past. We're not letting things that were attached to us hold us and bind us. No longer are we saying I've been like this all of my life, because we're going to walk into new territories, new dimensions, new areas. God is about to release stuff to us that we can't take old ways with us, old habits, old sayings, old mentality cannot go over into royalty, because you are of a royal priesthood. Our spirits is royal. Our being is royal. Our way of living is now going to be royal, because we're going to take away the handicaps of I've been like this way all of my life. No longer. You're now going to walk into greatness. You're now going to walk into power and anointing that's over your life. You're royal. You're beautiful. You're of kingship and queenship. You walk in greatness. So let go of the past. Let go of the history. Let go of the things that your parents used to do and your father used to do and your great-great-grandparents. You're going to be the difference. You're going to be the curse breaker. You're going to be the one that carry the mantle and walk in your leadership position. Okay? You're royal. You're the head and not the tail. You're the one that people are going to look up to. You're the change that your family needed. So remove it from your vocabulary. I'm this way because of. You're going to be royal now because of. Go find out. Go ask somebody all of the good things. Yeah, your grandmother may have had a lot of kids, but guess what? She also had a lot of property and a lot of land. Yeah, your granddaddy may have been a rolling stone, but guess what? He took care of everything he came in contact with. He was a businessman. See that? See, we like to take the negative and not the positive. We're not going to do that anymore. We're not going to do that anymore. My uncle was a drunk and da. But your uncle had 6 figures in the bank. He had businesses. He had connections. He had affiliations. He was a businessman. So pull that. My aunt, she was a prostitute, and she da. Yeah, okay. So But guess what else your auntie did? She was smart. She went to college. She was wise. She had wisdom. She had knowledge. When you spoke to her, you sound like she was speaking to a doctor or a lawyer. So take the positive from your history. Take the positive from your bloodline. Take the positive from your lineage and apply it to you and walk in royalty. I'm going to pray with you today that everything that's attached to your mind and your history become royal to you, and that you become the change that you need to be for your family. You become that royal priesthood. You become that bloodline that continue the lineage of royalty, because you are the change that your family needed to make and your friends need to see. You are royalty, and I speak that over your life. I speak royalty. I speak integrity. I speak standards. I speak wealth over your life. I speak power. I speak kingship and queenship and authority that God given you. Walk in the mantle and in the calling and the anointing that God gave you, because you are royalty, and he has set you apart. He has set you above and beyond that of your negative history. So let's not say I've been like this all of my life. You're now going to say I've been walking in royalty all of my life. Trust me. Walk in your power, walk in your standard, and walk in integrity. And finally, let's live in abundance no matter what. We're going to live abundantly. We're going to speak abundantly, and we're going to be royal in this life.